His morning crew with Rob, Allison, and Jim.
They call themselves edutainers when it comes to marriage and advice. It's Jay and Laura Laffoons that's spending time with us this morning. So grateful for you guys making the trip from Michigan.
Yes.
Lansing, Michigan is home for you.
Close to Lansing, yes. We love Michigan. It's got 4 distinct seasons, and we're rolling into our favorite season, which is summertime.
Which is nice and cool during the summer.
Perfect.
My wife's from there, so I understand Michigan pretty well. So we have a few people that have asked questions, needing some advice when it comes to their marriage.
Yeah, the first one is from Sarah. She says, I'm getting married this summer, and I need to know how to make sure my marriage lasts.
Well, I would say learn how to forgive. Learn how to forgive because, as Billy Graham's wife said, great marriages are made of 2 great forgivers. And for those of us that know Christ, we understand what forgiveness means, and that's what that doesn't sound like a real good, romantic tidbit, but that's really...
Well, and I'm not going to give a romantic tidbit either. I'm going to give a very practical tool. One of the things that we encourage all couples to do, and get it in your schedule right now, even before you get married, is to spend 15 minutes of uninterrupted conversation a day. Just... No
devices, no TV.
Devices, no kids, just sit and talk about your day and just, not like deep, dark secrets, but, chit chat. Just, hey, how was your day? How
Connect.
did it, and establishing that early on in your marriage will make that a great habit for later on when those hard times come, because they will come.
Which I'm sure that advice sounds kind of weird to somebody who's been single, because you're like, 15 minutes, that's nothing. But the longer you're married and the busier you get and the kids that come along.
I want to talk to him because we're so connected. Well, wait till life hits, honey. It won't. Right.
I shared this with a friend of mine who'd been married about 10 years and had 2 kids. He said, 15 minutes. Can I just ask her one question and let her talk the whole time? And I said, yes.
That's all it takes.
Listening.
As long as you're listening, that's right.
It's Jay and Laura Laffoons with us this morning. Some sound marriage advice. Here is Julie, and here's what she writes. My husband spends hundreds of dollars a month on a fancy gym membership. I know it's good for his health, but it's so expensive. Should I tell him my feelings about it?
I would say yes. I mean, you've got to do it in the right time, in the right way, with the right motivation. One of the things that we've learned is to always ask the question, what's fair? What's fair to our marriage? This might be good for you, or this might be good for me, but what's fair for our marriage? What makes sense for this money in our budget? I would make sure that he's fed and he's well rested before you tell him the feelings, 'cause that's pretty key for us men.
But I would say, does it fit into your budget? And if it does if it fits in your budget and it's not a hardship, then it's good for him. It's good for his health. Gym is a good place to go. We don't happen to go there, but
yeah, we do. We go to Alma College.
Yeah, but ours isn't expensive. But so if it fits in the budget, I wouldn't really worry about. But if it's causing hardship on the budget, then I think you do have to sit down and talk about it. And like Jay said, make sure he's well fed.
Or are your feelings just, I'm jealous that I can't spend this money?
And what are you
else.
spending money on? That's the question I always have to ask, because he spends lots of money on golf clubs, and I'm like, well, I'm sure I spend money on
makeup,
that
Apple
are
Watches,
expensive
yes.
too.
All right, last question. My wife is amazing, but she's not a good cook. And I'm a pretty picky eater. How do we make it through meal times without her feelings getting hurt or my stomach turning? Hungry for advice, Mark.
Notice
this
Jay
easy.
laughs
This
right
was
off the
easy.
bat.
Okay, dude, cook yourself. Okay, cook yourself or cook together. This is one of the things we love to do now that we're empty nesters. We cook together, and it's like we're dancing in the kitchen. It's wonderful connecting time.
And I wasn't a good cook. I grew up in a home with a father who was ill, and so my mom worked full time. So I made most dinners in my teenage years, but it was always the same thing. We had this on Monday night, this on Tuesday night. So that's what happened when we got married. Was I would cook the same thing over and over and over again, and it wasn't that I was a bad cook. It was just I was a boring cook.
Yes.
And so then we started watching the Food Network, which was really fun, and then we started cooking together, and now we cook a lot, and there's certain, like, he's in charge of the grill, he's in charge of anything that has meat, that's his thing. I do the salads or the veggies or what, so we kind of have this. So maybe the answer to the question is
Mark.
maybe you start by saying, hey, how about we cook this tonight together, and you do your research beforehand so you got the right recipe and all that kind of stuff.
That one seemed pretty simple to me. I mean, dude, if you don't like her cooking, start helping her cook,
Cooking channel. So Rachel Ray or Paula Deen?
Well, I'd love to say Paula Deen because she's Southern and she uses a lot of butter, but probably shouldn't eat her.
I would say Barefoot Contessa.
Yeah, we do Barefoot Contessa, and we like Guy Fieri, Triple D,
Yeah.
Diners, Drive-Ins, and
yeah.
Diners, and Guys Grocery Games.
Jay and Laura Laffoons spending some time with us. They're going to be coming here in the fall, by the way, so we'll keep you up to date on that. It's His Morning Crew right here on his radio.